Hey guys, welcome to Stock Stuffs, and in this video I'm going to show you how to calculate the stochastics in Excel. Well, obviously the stochastic is an oscillator. I think that's quite intuitive, but I think what's not very intuitive is that the stochastics is actually very similar in terms of idea to the Donchian channel. And it were basically to take the Donchian channel and turn it into an oscillator. It would, stochastics would not be an unreasonable extrapolation. So basically what the stochastic is basically the ratio of two spreads normalized to 100. Meant to say times 100. Essentially it's the close versus low spread going low going back x number of bars divided by the Donchian spread going back x number of bars times 100. So essentially we pop forward 2 decimal places. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at price action. So here is price action, and underneath price action we have plotted the stochastics. There's a bunch of different settings for different charting softwares, but I tried to use sort of the most classical vanilla setting for stochastics. So I'm using a 14 periods for %K with no smoothing, so essentially 1 bar. And then the %D would have a 3-period smoothing of the unsmoothed %K. So essentially a 14.3 very fast stochastics. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab some security prices. I'm going to look for the ETF of the S&P 500 and download it to a spreadsheet just because I don't think there's like too many stock splits. So it's very nice to work with. Okay, let's get rid of volume adjusted closing. Let's go ahead and sort this by oldest to newest, and let's go ahead and highlight the closing price. As you know, it's very important for a lot of indicators. Okay, so to start off, we're gonna basically find high 14 and low 14. So basically, we're gonna start off constructing a Donchian channel with a 14 look back period. Okay, so we're gonna do essentially a max, and we're gonna essentially return the max of the highs. And then we're going to return the minimum of the lows. So that's maximum of the highs. I can just say sometime drag this over and change the max to minimum. And we're going to return the minimum of the lows, right? So max of the highs, the minimum is low. Okay, that looks about right. And then we're going to extend this down. And then after that, we can essentially calculate the %K and then the %D in 2 super easy steps. So what the %K is, as I explained already, is essentially a ratio of 2 spreads popping forward 2 decimal places. So the first one is essentially the relationship between the closing price of this period, which is E15, minus the low looking back X number of bars. So essentially F15, right? And then we're going to take this number, we're going to divide it by the Donchian spread of the look back period. So that would be the, it's not F, it's G15. That's the low. Got a little bit misaligned there. Okay, there we go. Right, the close versus the low. Okay, that looks better. Okay, so then we're going to divide this whole thing by F15 minus G15. So essentially the Donchian spread. And then we're going to times it by 100. And then that's going to give us the %K, and it's literally that easy. And then you're going to find the average, and all the %D is essentially a 3 SMA, or I guess SMA value any look back period. Since we're using a 3 setting, then literally it's a 3 SMA. I mean, I don't know, I guess we're trying to be fancy, but literally you could call this just the 3 SMA of the %K. But either way, so that's the %K. And that's %D, and maybe we can drop a few decimal places. Do they allow me to do that? I don't think so. I don't know why. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Let's go back to charting software and check our work. Okay, so okay, on 5/13/2016, which is Friday the 13th, close. The %K, which is this yellow line, I try to color match the thing so it's a little bit more intuitive. So as you can see, it had a return of value of 1483.96, so essentially 1484. our charting software returned the same exact value, 1484, and the 3 SMA, the 3 SMA value, smoothing the %K, on the 15th, on the 13th, is a 34, a 74. Our charting software returned 3474. Okay, let's spot check one more to be sure. On the 5th, our charting software returned a value of 8.46 for the %K 14.1, and then the 3 SMA smoothing line, which is also known as a %D 3 period. We returned the charting software returned a value of 12.24, and that's going to be on the 5th. So on the 5th, which is here, I guess I can underline it. We returned a value of 8.46 for the %K, and then 12.24. So exactly the same as the charting software. So yeah, so that's how you calculate the stochastics. I guess like something interesting about the stochastics, besides being an oscillator, is that it's actually really similar to the Donchian channel. And if you really think about what the stochastics is actually saying, it's basically saying that well, let's look at the calculation and just break it down. I mean, what it's actually saying is that if the bar is consistently closing essentially sort of near the high compared to the low, right? So that's so we have like a Donchian spread going back X number of periods, and if we're consistently closing near the high, then that's bullish. Essentially, that's what this indicator is saying. So if you go ahead and backtest this, where you run statistical analysis, if it is the case that closing sort of near the high, or some kind of momentum change of the high of this period versus the entire Donchian spread, if that's somehow predictive of momentum shift, then you would expect this indicator to be statistically significant. If sort of the closing price is virtually random, then you would expect that over a large sample size, this indicator would not be that statistically significant. Thanks for watching.